So what made you transition from being a mechanic to a chef?
It sounds a bit illogical, but I enjoyed my mechanics apprenticeship, but I had a great interest in economics. I went to uni to study it. They brought in higher education fees. I needed a job.
Yeah.
They got me a job in the kitchen at Melbourne Uni, and the day I walked in, I thought, I'm home. I knew. Well,
the mechanical and accounting world's loss is South Australia's gain, I suppose, for the culinary stuff you've done.
Well, I still, mechanics, any training is good in my opinion. It teaches you discipline and logical thought, problem solving. It's all the same.
Yeah, agreed. So what's your favourite thing about South Australia?
I love the fact that we have a very close association with the regions. People understand where their food comes from, and it's to do with proximity. It's an amazingly laid out city. I don't think you'd find another city in the world where people actually do know all of the food bowls and beverage regions and who grew their food.
And I suppose that's a natural lead into your role with Tasting Australia. That is to bring that regional stuff as well as international stuff into this state.
Absolutely. Tasting Australia exists to show people how fantastic our tourism offering is, and we use food and beverage as drivers for that. And most of the experiences that we offer are immersive and in region.
Okay. What separates Tasting Australia from other events, you reckon?
I think we live in a very special place, and I think South Australia has this strange tension between very hospitable, casual people that are very friendly and amazing high-end food and beverage and beautiful regional experiences, and it's this high-low play, and I call it informal excellence, that you can drink some Grange with your barbecued lamb chop and think nothing of it on a Sunday with your mates.
I don't move in those circles. They can afford a Grange for their barbecue, but I understand where you're coming from. So growing up, what was your favourite food?
I think my family cooked. We were of English people with Russian and Scottish backgrounds, a little bit of German and Viking thrown in there. We had very plain food, but we had a veggie patch, and my parents went and did that mad hobby farm thing when we were young and had acreage and ducks, geese, cows, veggie patches, and I think it was really good.
So is there a food you don't eat?
I will eat anything in my job as a chef, except for when I'm not comfortable with the ethics, and I've travelled a lot through the whole world, every continent, and there's some things that are ethically problematic and I think you shouldn't eat them, but I'm not going to force my view on other people.
But from a taste point of view, there's nothing, you're not the people are just polarised around things like coriander or any of those sorts of...
So yeah, that's fascinating. That I used to laugh at people that said that they were allergic to coriander, but there's actually, it's not an allergy, there's actually a receptor in your mouth that makes it taste like soap. And it is genetic. We all have very different flavour receiving and messaging, and it's heavily overlaid with memory, and to break down what's actually a bit of your genetics and what's a food memory can be quite difficult. For me, I find some flavours distasteful. Sea urchin, because it stays with you for about a month after you eat it. I don't like things that hang.
Have you got a favourite place in South Australia you like to go or to chill or?
Very strangely, this area here always is one of my favourite spots, down by the river. I find it a little bit ominous and sad, the history of Pinky's Flat, but I find it incredibly beautiful. And I think we're so privileged to have that vision to build a city with a green belt.
Thanks, I've really enjoyed it, Simon.
I enjoyed it. Thanks for the drive.
And thanks for your time in the front seat with the RAA.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Take care, mate.